Welcome to Forest Namesake. I hope that you're having a good day. We like to finish where we left off on our previous episode about homelessness, our nighttime routine. After we go to the library or the YMCA or whatever we have planned after dinner, my dad will take us to where we used to live, our previous neighborhood, and we'll park somewhere on the road for the night and get ready for bed. It's not very comfortable, if I'm honest. I have struggled with it. I don't like the mosquitoes, and mosquito spray doesn't really work that well. We have bites all over our arms and our legs and our feet, everywhere. And it's not very comfortable sitting in an upright position. You can't lean the chairs back all the way. There's bags, our sleeping stuff is in front of our legs. And yeah, sometimes there's not a breeze. We have to have the windows down, we can't have the engines rolling. So that is where I am currently being tested. I can't speak for the rest of my family members, but I pray, like Paul did, that I learn to be content. I hope I can get to that point. I'm very thankful for how God has protected us, that's for sure, and my mom will go into that later.
Yes, so at night, because it's a neighborhood and there's quite a few homes there's people that will drive by at all hours of the night, and some of them will stop to, I guess, investigate us. Of course, they're curious, and it's dark in our truck and it's dark in their car and we can't see them, and that is kind of unnerving, is to have someone, usually it's a sporty car of some sort with big rumbling engines, and just kind of stop and stare at us, and we don't know what they're doing or what they're going to do. And sometimes there's people that are actually walking or jogging at night, but from a distance when they're coming towards us and all we see is a dark shadow, we're not sure what their intentions are. So we pray really hard that God is going to protect us in those moments, and that those people are not actually coming to do anything to us. And in fact, they're just walking for the night. Or yesterday there was two people walking with their dogs, and they're not saying anything. It's quiet, and we have the windows down so we can hear everything. But then the last 2 evenings, let's see, let me back up. About 2 nights ago, we saw a bright light coming towards us. It was like a brights, and we actually had to turn away because it was hurting our eyes. And we found out it was a police officer, and he stopped behind us and he came to the window and asked my husband, so what's going on here, guys? What are you doing here? And we had to explain that we're homeless and we're living in our vehicle, and we weren't doing anything except trying to get a good night's sleep. And he just kind of went into that, that people have been calling and been, wondering who's been sitting there in their neighborhood. Of course, I would do that too if I looked out my window and saw a strange dark vehicle, because our truck is black, and then the night is black, so you can see part of it, and wonder why someone's sitting there all night long. We're usually gone by 5 in the morning, so it's still dark then, but they don't know that. So they're nervous, and I can understand that they would call the police and just to investigate. But that particular police officer, he was very nice, and he actually said that he too was homeless many, many years ago, so he understood our situation. He was very compassionate. He did not give us a ticket. He did not write us up. He was very nice, and he said, well, you can continue staying here, and here's my business card if you need anything at all. I thought that was very sweet, and he even said, and I'll be praying for you. Now, last night was a different story. We had someone else come by, a different police officer. I think it said sheriff on his car, I'm not sure, but he wasn't that nice. I mean, he wasn't mean, but he just didn't seem very sympathetic to our situation. And we had told him that the officer the night before that had given us permission to stay there. If that's all we were doing was sleeping in the car, that was fine, and not doing anything else. But he didn't seem to be interested in the fact that someone had given us permission to stay there last night. And he said, I'm going to have to ask you to move. This is a neighborhood, it's a public road, you're not allowed to park on a public road. Now, you can park in a public building, like a gas station per se, that's lit up so that people can see you. but you cannot just park here on the public road in the neighborhood. I will not allow that. You must leave. And he actually waited in his vehicle until we were gone. And of course, all police officers, for those of you who are from other countries, here in the United States, they will always ask you for your driver's license or some sort of an identification card. And then they go back to their vehicle, and it seems like an eternity. And we wonder, what are they doing in their car for so long? And of course we get nervous. Oh no, what are they going to find out about us? But we're not criminals. We haven't done anything wrong. But there's just that antsy feeling of, why is it taking so long? But anyway, so that's what they do, and then they give the cards back to us. But he actually had his the lights on, the red and blue lights going, and so that was embarrassing for people that were driving by and wondering what was going on in a very safe neighborhood. And our house was just 2 blocks down, our old house that we lived in, and we told him that, and it showed that on the identification card. And we told him that the reason why we're homeless is because our house was foreclosed on and we had no place to go. And he asked us if we had money for a hotel, and we said no, we don't, and that sort of thing. But anyway, he just basically waited until we were gone, and that was frightening. So then we drove to the post office, the United States Post Office in that town where we were living, and that was quite frightening. It was lit up, but there was a train track behind us that was dark. We couldn't see anything who was coming up there. And then I needed to go to the bathroom suddenly, and there's no public bathroom there. And I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? And just as I was just kind of stepping out of the vehicle to see where I could go in private somewhere, it looked like a drunk person came and raced into the parking lot, and there were a bunch of people in the car, and they were yelling and screaming and laughing, and that was frightening. So we just said, you know what, it's time to go. So we drove on to the next town over, which is about 12 miles or so down the road, and we thought, let's go to an all-nighter restaurant that's open 24 hours so that I could go to the bathroom, which I did. And there was a party going on out there. That's kind of a more wild town. I've heard there's a lot of gang activity there, a lot of wild groups of people, a lot of crime in that town that we've heard of. And so we did not feel safe there either. And we finally found a church parking lot, and we parked there for a while. But then the police showed up, and they started to drive around in the parking lot, and we thought, oh no, here we go again. So then we moved again, and we went to a hardware store parking lot, and we parked there, and we noticed that there were 6 other vehicles already sitting there, and we thought, I wonder if these people are homeless too. So we just kind of parked amongst them. We couldn't see anybody. Maybe their seats were back or they were lying down. But I thought, wow, this is pretty sad that as a homeless person, you're discriminated against. It's made seem like you're a criminal when really you're not. Not all homeless people are drunks. Yes, there's quite a few that are drunks, and there's quite a few that are drug addicts, and there's quite a few that are into prostitution. But we're just a regular family, a family of 5 who just need a place to stay. So that's been our situation in the evenings. Thank you for watching, and we hope that this has opened your eyes.
Like it's opened ours.
Yes, definitely, because we've always, when we see homeless people, the first thing we think, oh, that's a drug person, or that's an alcoholic that's wanting money to feed his whiskey moment or alcohol cravings. But not necessarily. Sometimes it's just a family who really lost their home and needs a place to stay. So next time you see a homeless person on the road, think about our story, and we're just a regular family, that's all. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you have a blessed day.
Be sure to hit like, subscribe, and click this notification bell. Bye-bye.